green teas. They come in many forms. Bag, broken, expensive, good, homosexual. We don't know yet. And you know, now we have to find out which of the forms is the tastiest form. It's probably the one that's labeled good, but it might be the one that's labeled homosexual, which is still a mystery. So let's find out. Let's find out which of these is the one with the taste in it. That's how this all works. It's pretty straightforward, you empty skulls. Let's put these possibly gay bags in boiling water so we can fix them right good and proper the same way you do with the real gays. Green tea number 1, a bagged offering from Farmer Brothers as dusty as a dusty room, and probably with heterosexuality to spare. And it's premium, which is, I suppose, a word that you can just slap on anything. I don't know what the non-premium option of this would be, but there it is. Green tea number 2, that's right, these are not in sequential order, they're in a reverse alphabetical order if the alphabet is Arabic, which actually I think has the same ordering as English. Which is good world building, I think. That's nice and proper. Speaking of nice and proper, I don't know, that might not be accurate. It's got an American flag on it. American grown tea. We've actually got 2 American grown teas, which is either exciting or terrifying. I don't know yet. Fuck me. Why is my throat like this? A very broken but not so dusty, hopefully, offering from the Charleston Tea Garden, who up until 2020 used to be called the Charleston Tea Plantation, so that's kind of fun. 2020, which is pretty recent. It's really recent. It's not that long ago. Sadly, this is not a premium tea unlike our Farmer Brothers option, so I will not be approaching this with any sort of a joy, exuberance, or a third word I could pull out of the thesaurus. Green tea number 3, the Great Mississippi Tea Company's Mississippi Queen, which is a little... I think that's a sentence, well, it's not a sentence, it's 2 words masquerading as a joke, or maybe it kind of is a joke. It's hard to tell sometimes with these things. It's their green tea, it's another American tea. They're back, they made it, they, you know, I've had some other teas, I had their yellow tea before, and, well, I've had, you know, just in my day-to-day life, the sort of valueless, unrecorded life, as it were. I've had some of their other teas, and they're back, like a body part. There's really only so many ways you could play with a word until it starts becoming work, and I don't know, I think I'm probably possibly collecting PTO on that sort of vocal laboring. Also not premium. Green tea number 5, that's right, we're not doing this numerically either. It's a sort of Star Warsian numerical system. You would know that if you read the EU. You shouldn't, but you would know that. It's a Mon-Cal thing. It makes a lot of sense. This is the Yunnan Sourcing's Green Spring Snail Bilo Chun Green Tea. It's from spring 2023. These are both from 2024. Who the fuck knows? Maybe it's from 1994. I don't know. I found it in a hotel once, like a year ago, and now it's here. And soon it'll be in me. So that's possibly terrifying. Since this is from spring 2023, which is only 3 years after the Charleston Tea Garden stopped referring to themselves as the Charleston Tea Plantation, which is something they were doing of their own free will, I guess, for quite some time. 2020. That's really recent. That's recent. Wow. That's not that long ago. That's 2020 plantation. That's a choice, or the absence of one, I suppose, at a certain point. It's possible that this might have some different things going on. It might be stale even. It is actually kind of old at this point. Because, I don't know, I'm slow. These all might be old, which I guess evens the playing field in a way. This one also, not premium. I don't know why I'm getting such non-premium offerings. It's kind of messed up. What we've got here is a pretty wide variety of instructions for brewing. Some of them have it on the back. You know, boiling. What do you say? 175 to the boiling. I think you were 195 on the website. 1 to 2 minutes, 3 minutes. What are you, 2 to 4? Yeah, multiple times in a Gaiwan at short intervals. You know, but I want to give these teas the best chance they can get, which might involve ignoring the instructions for brewing. I don't know. I'm suspicious of Well, you have to say farmer brother. I'm sorry, both of you brothers. Or I guess it could be multiple brothers. It is legal to have more than one brother. It's not against the law anymore. But I want to give each of these the best chance they can get of being good. But I also don't want to be comparing method of preparation when I really want to just be comparing the tea itself. So I'm going to go with the Great Mississippi Tea Company's instructions on this, because I've used their instructions for some of their other teas before, and they turned out fine, and they're actually appropriate to the brewing method that I'm doing here, which is going to be Western style, unlike what Yunnan sourcing would have, which is small pot brewing, which is usually what I do, but you're allowed to change it up sometimes, at least once or twice in your life, maybe even 3 times, or only once, 2020, which is not that long ago. That's very recent, in fact. So we're going to be doing this 2 grams each, 175 degrees Fahrenheit for 3 minutes. Yeah, 2 grams, 2 grams, 2 grams, bag. Alright, as my mom never said, we gotta start with the dry smell, so let's start with it. That smells like it wants to smell like something and doesn't. It's kind of a notional quality to it. Oh dear, farmer brothers. There's a... Oh god, I gotta... Hold on. It smells like there's toasted cereal in the room next to me. But the rooms are like 50,000 square feet. Yeah, that is nearly scentless. Can't really... I mean, it's a bunch of broken leaf. It's hard to tell. I don't think I can smell any of the microplastics that I'm going to be ingesting, so that's fun. Alright, Great Mississippi Tea Company. Let's hope you got something going on in here. Okay, well, first off, these leaves look lovely. Look at them. They're very long and spindly. All of their teas are like that. You may or may not be able to see the sort of Cheeto dust on the inside, the trichromes there. Oh yeah, that's very powerful. A little bit of ocean, very vegetal. Grassy, there's a kind of lemony sweetness in there, I'd say, kind of a citrus thing. Okay, that has a smell, and it's quite nice. Which is I don't know, I guess scentlessness is a premium offering. Alright, Charleston Tea Knot Plantation. Yep, lots of broken leaf, there's some stem in there. Varying sizes. Okay, that's brisker. I would say it kind of reminds me of their first flush black tea. It's grassy but not vegetal. It doesn't have this sort of that had a faint savoriness to it. It had a lot of things to it, I guess. It doesn't really have as much. It's grassy. The main thing I'm getting off of you. And you, Yunnan sourcing. Let's see what the source of your smells is. Also, these are rolled, which are they're just so pretty. Look at them, little snails. That's why they call it that. Also, you could see the Cheeto dust trichromes in there too. Taki dust, maybe. Oh, that's brighter. That's Oh, God, there's a lot going on. There's almost a faint cocoa smell in there that I'm getting, which is weird. The smell is not as powerful, which may be a consequence of this being almost 3 years old. Which, hey, maybe that's your excuse. We should all get an excuse at least once in our life. There's a faint oceaniness to it. Yeah, that cocoa thing, that is very strange. That is not what I would expect to find in a green. A slight sort of toastiness is in there. Yeah, not very powerful, which is surprising. You definitely had the most smell to you. Okay. Okay, let's sniff some wet leaf. Start with the Farmer Brothers. It's very unattractive looking in here. These bags are never, they just never look good. It smells, the toastiness is coming through a lot more readily on this. That's about it though. Maybe a faint, it's hard, I'm trying not to smell everything at once, even though I probably am smelling everything at once. There's maybe a faint kind of citrus thing in there, but it's mostly toast. Mississippi Queen, the Great Mississippi Tea Company's green leaves. These leaves look nice. They're pretty. Okay, yeah, it's very savory. Vegetal, a little oceany. Some background grass. But it's much more on like the kind of pea vegetal tract than a sweetness. Which I do have to say, we've got some nice variation color here. That brewed very lightly, which between that and the smells I'm getting here, it does make me wonder. There are differences in the way that especially Japanese and Chinese green teas are processed. Japanese teas are usually, green teas are usually steamed, and so they end up with kind of a more savory vegetal thing going on in them, which you're displaying quite a bit. And Chinese green teas are usually pan-fried, toasted kind of thing going on there. They should present some more like nutty qualities. We'll see. We'll see who shows what. I mean, who knows? Anything could be done to you. We don't even know. All right, Charleston Tea Garden, who, I've been giving them some guff, as it were. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. It should be a bad thing. No one wants guff. For recently being named the Charleston Tea Plantation until 2020. Wow, that's recent. But they did change it at least. You do have to realize at some point that you're doing something that's kind of fucked up. And then it's entirely possible they did it purely for like financial reasons. But they changed it. There are places that are open today that still have plantation in their name and that are on like historical slave-owning plantations in the South. So, they changed it. You could do worse. Okay, yeah. It's got that briskness, that kind of grassiness. It smells fast. Very, very grassy. Do you smell of anything but grass? I'm gonna say no, I don't think you do. Okay. Yunnan sourcing snails. I usually don't brew, God, you're just holding on to liquid, huh? Rolled teas like this. So I don't know how appropriate it is for them. Some of them still look slightly rolled. So this, probably not doing them favors, to be honest, but whatever. That doesn't smell of much. Probably because I'm going to keep making excuses for them because I've enjoyed this tea in the past before. Spoiler alert. in other Yunnan sourcing products, there's a bit of a floral quality to it, which is strange. It's mild. There's a kind of like sharpness. A sharpness of what though? I don't know. Faintly grassy and vegetal. It's much more on like the floral spectrum. There's almost like a dish soapy scent in there. Like that's kind of like the sharpness of it. The sharpness of a poison. Which is a good thing to say about a tea that I enjoy and have enjoyed in the past. Okay. Well, there's only one thing left to do, and by one thing I mean 4 things, and by 4 things I mean many more than 4 things, but, you know, I drank them now, that's the thing. Farmer Brothers, what do you taste like? Okay, I've had a sip of you, and I will again ask, what do you taste like? Oh, okay, that came through a little more. There's a bit of a grassiness. It's mostly like a toasted cereal kind of thing. There's some nuttiness in there. Very, very mild. It's inoffensive in a way that kind of offends me, to be honest. It's so not so much, and I want it to be more. I want like another layer of something in there that's detectable, or just punch a little stronger. I don't know. Okay, Mississippi Queen. The soup on this has a smell, which you did not. Oh no, you did. You smell it. Okay, you've got a toasty smell to it. It's just much more apparent here. It didn't. This one hit me in the face once I lifted it up to my mouth. Okay, yeah, that's different. That's much more on the savory end. Reminds me, oh, I got a hair in there. That's mine. Well, now I had a finger in there. That's usually the order I go in, hair then finger. It's gross. There's a bit of a lemony, kind of sour sweetness in there. That reminds me of their yellow tea, actually, which I've liked. More on the savory end. It's more. It's not like grabbing my jowls or whatever I got going on there. Kind of a smooth, not subtle, but it's not a savoriness that I feel like has attacked me in some way. Yeah, vegetal, peas, greenness. Charleston tea, not plantation, thank you. I could smell the grass. I could definitely. You had some dust escape you, unfortunately. I guess there weren't enough microplastics in the eco-friendly tea bags I bought to prevent a rupture or leakage or whatever. Okay. It takes a second. That one, I was about to say, wow, I'm going to make the same joke about not tasting anything again. But no, it takes a second, and then there's that grassiness. That grassiness. Kind of like an apple sweetness after that. That's sort of like I keep saying the word brisk for this. It's what it makes me think. It reminds me of some kind of like whatever random Darjeelings I've had that are not like trash Darjeelings, but they're like okay, but much more with like an on top grass layer to that. It's like the Darjeeling's kind of hiding under grass. Same way you try to hide a ear or a corpse or whatever. It's mostly grass. It's fine. That one's okay. None of these have presented any bad tastes yet. So you're not sourcing. It's your turn to break form. That smells like chlorine. Yeah, there's like a floral thing combined with sort of like a type of fruitiness that's it's hard to pinpoint exactly. That after it all comes together, it makes me think pool water. Like when I'm taking the parts on as parts, I'm like, okay, there's like a flowery thing there. That's like maybe not lavender. I don't know enough about flowers to say like, it's that specific flower, but it's a type of flower. And then there's like I want to say like berry kind of note in there, that type of fruit. This is all smells. I still haven't tasted the thing yet because it smells like pool water. And a little bit of a kind of very mild grass vegetal kind of smell in there too. All of that resolves to smelling like a public pool. Doesn't taste like one though. I'll keep making excuses for this tea until the day I goddamn die, but it's a rolled tea, and so it needs time for the leaves to unfurl. You can kind of tell probably that. You can tell maybe, I don't know. Are they still, they seem to have come apart pretty good here, mostly. I mean, I was also fingering this thing quite a bit, despite the fact that I haven't had any hair in there, so who knows. God, those are pretty. I think it's a 1-to-1 bud to leaf ratio, which is quite nice. There's a bit of nuttiness in there too that and then very different. I'm gonna be honest, it's not entirely how I remember this tasting, probably because this is from 2023 and it took me this long to get around to using it in something. There's some fruitiness in there. Some floral notes, and yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, let's give my palate a bit of a rest. Okay, rest over. I want to go back through, because sometimes interesting things can happen when you reverse order. There's a way, I don't know, when you're, if I was really intentional about this, I might be able to do something interesting to my palate by switching the way the order these were tasted in, but we'll see. At some point, that was supposed to be a sentence, and it kind of never formed into one. It was just fragmentary the whole way through. God, I can't wait to piss all this out. There's a bit of a small, like not a bite. It's like a little pinch, a tiny nibble, as a friendly cat would do of like an astringency that I like. It's not. There's different types of bitterness. There's the oversteeped bad green tea bitterness. There's like a chemical, like, I don't know, medicinal, this is straight up poison bitterness. And then there's types of bitterness that I really like. And that's got elements of that in there. It's not, I really enjoy drinking very young raw pu'er, which has that quality to it sometimes of the bracing, powerful, hefty bitterness. There's a singular note in the orchestra. I guess, can you have a note in an orchestra? Whatever, I don't care. I'm done with that sentence. Okay, Charleston green tea. Going back in the reverse order all of a sudden. Before, if I thought, oh man, this needs a second to like taste of anything. There's a delayed reaction on it, but this time it's actually pretty upfront. There's a nuttiness, a toastiness that, man, where did the grass go away? Okay, now it's a grass and a toasted cereals kind of thing going on in there. That's weird. That I mean, maybe it's because I'm such an expert taster, or it's because I'm so bad at it that I just, every sip is a different bouquet of garbage. But that, hopefully, maybe that is a result of going back in the other direction, that sort of new flavors can resolve themselves in my mouth, which is fun. Isn't it so fun? Are you having fun? Why aren't you having fun? Have more fun. Okay, Mississippi Queen. Now you're doing the Charleston thing where it wasn't as vacant in the initial like 1.5 seconds, but there was definitely like it was much more subtle initially, and then we're just kind of, you know, if we're making a graph here on this wall, I don't know, it takes a second for the savory vegetable quality to kick in. Farmer Brothers. Oh, that's bad. It tastes burnt. That's really weird. That's really weird. That changing the order, or maybe palate fatigue, or maybe palate inaccuracy madness. Yeah, that was not good. Yeah, there's like an acrid kind of thing in there that does taste like burnt food. A lot of the other stuff's faded away. I know I said a lot of things. Now you've kind of resolved into being a oh, I'm losing it already. Toasted cereals that someone lit on fire. Yeah, like someone got some, what's an unflavored cereal? Is Special K unflavored? Where it's just the little shapes? I don't know if they have shapes. They should be in the shape of K, because it's Special K. It's kind of like someone took that and, yeah, blasted in the oven at like 550 convection on, a half hour, maybe 45 minutes, and fed it to you, and you're like, oh, why'd you burn my cereal? I don't like that. I don't want that. Oh, why'd you liquefy it, put it in a cup? Now I'm drinking it? Okay. It's in my body now. It's a part of me. I am part burnt Special K. Great. Thanks. Awesome. Cool. Okay. My brain is, my hand down my pants there for no reason. Just happened. My brain's on fire in a sort of way. How am I so smart? I don't want to drink any more tea. I've hit the wall here. Very lightly, as it turns out. Yeah, that's mostly I think I've forgotten how to taste things. I think you might be my favorite. You surprised me on that second round. At first you tasted kind of whatever, Charleston Tea Garden. And then going back in, you had some nice things to say, which I appreciated, despite all the ways I've been trying to be rude to you for having a sordid past, unlike anything else that's ever happened in the United States of America. A beautiful, beautiful country. No problems. You know, in sourcing, I gotta say, I can't recommend that someone buys your tea and then leaves a small amount of it locked away in a cupboard for about almost 3 years and then goes back into drinking it. I recommend drinking it fresh in a Gaiwan. I don't think this brewing method really did you favors either. Farmer Brothers, no, don't do that. You had some okay moments. You had some surprising moments, my guy, but you also had some surprising moments. Right, see, the thing about that is, you don't get it. Listen, buddy, it's because there were good surprising moments, and then there were some bad surprising moments, right? A surprise isn't necessarily good or bad, I suppose. It's just a thing. And then, you know what I'm saying? You're not even fucking listening to me. God, I'm happy I ripped you in half. I'm gonna kill your family. Is that it? Am I done now? Oh, hold your horse. I can't forget the most important thing of them all, which is the thing that I've forgotten, and I have not done in a while. Gotta collect the leaf. Oh, let's get a good one from you to make my super tea that, who knows? Who knows when I'll ever drink it? guess I'm just gonna stick my little gob in here, and that feels appropriate. Yeah. Let's get some eau de pool water in there. Eau de, you know. Look at these. Oh yeah. Now we're cooking with heat. Otherwise you'd be making a fucking salad. And that's it.